Breaking news from Newcastle United. 4 huge updates have just shaken the Toon Army, and every fan needs to hear this. From an unexpected transfer target that could reshape the attack, to a financial windfall straight out of Europe, the stories just keep coming. There's also one star whose performances are finally getting the praise they deserve inside the dressing room, and another name now caught in a massive tug-of-war involving some of the Premier League's biggest clubs. Things are moving fast at St. James Park. Major decisions, contract talks, and transfer battles are heating up behind the scenes, and Eddie Howe is right at the center of it all. If you're a true Newcastle supporter, you'll want to stick around till the very end, because what's coming next could change the shape of this season completely. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with everything black and white. Jean-Philippe Mateta has become one of the most talked about forwards in English football, and now Newcastle United have joined the growing list of clubs closely monitoring his situation. The French striker, currently at Crystal Palace, has enjoyed a remarkable rise under Oliver Glasner, turning from a rotational option into one of the Premier League's most dangerous finishers. His form has attracted serious attention, and reports suggest Palace are losing hope of keeping him beyond next summer. With contract talks stalling and the January window fast approaching, the Magpies are keeping a keen eye on developments from Selhurst Park. Mateta's resurgence under Glasner has been nothing short of spectacular. Once inconsistent and short of confidence, the 27-year-old has rediscovered his rhythm, scoring crucial goals and playing with renewed determination. Glasner's system has unlocked his potential, allowing him to thrive as a central figure in Palace's attack. His combination of physical presence and sharp finishing makes him a nightmare for defenders, and it's no wonder that several clubs, including Manchester United and Tottenham, have taken notice. But for Newcastle United, who have rebuilt their squad smartly under Eddie Howe, Mateta could represent a powerful addition at the right moment. Crystal Palace are believed to have set a price tag of around £40 million for Mateta, a fee that reflects both his current form and his growing reputation. While the Eagles would prefer to extend his contract, insiders suggest the player may be tempted by a move to a bigger project. Newcastle, having already strengthened with Nick Woltemade and Yoane Wissa during the summer, are not desperate for a striker, but Howe remains open to opportunities if the right player becomes available. A deal in January isn't off the table, but it would depend heavily on player sales or injuries. At St. James Park, Mateta's potential arrival would certainly raise eyebrows. The Frenchman's style suits Howe's pressing game, powerful, direct, and capable of leading the line with intensity. With Alexander Isak now departed and Callum Wilson struggling for consistent fitness, Newcastle's long-term need for another forward is clear. Howe has shown a knack for improving players and turning them into top performers. Fans still remember how Joelinton was transformed from an out-of-form striker into a midfield powerhouse. The idea of Mateta thriving under similar guidance has generated real excitement among supporters. However, the Magpies are far from the only ones circling. Manchester United, searching for depth after Rasmus Hjulunde's summer exit, are said to be keen on adding Mateta to their ranks, especially if Joshua Zirkzee departs. Tottenham have also been linked, though their pursuit appears less urgent given their current forward options. Newcastle's biggest advantage could be their stability, a settled project under Eddie Howe, Champions League football still within reach, and a clear plan for gradual squad evolution rather than panic buying. Those factors could prove decisive if Mateta looks for a new home in England. There is also the question of ambition. For Mateta, a move to a club like Newcastle represents not just a step up, but a chance to compete regularly at the top level. Under Glasner, he has already shown he can perform against elite opposition, but the opportunity to do so every week, in front of 52,000 roaring Geordies, could be too tempting to ignore. Newcastle's recent track record of improving international players is impressive. From Sven Botman to Bruno Guimaraes, and more recently Harvey Barnes and Anthony Gordon, Howe's environment has proven ideal for ambitious footballers eager to grow. Still, Palace are unlikely to make things easy. The club value Mateta highly and would prefer to avoid another mid-season shake-up. They know losing him in January could harm their campaign, particularly if no adequate replacement is lined up. That's why some reports suggest they demand the full £40 million upfront, with no loan or delayed payment options. For Newcastle, who continue to operate carefully under financial fair play restrictions. That kind of outlay would need careful consideration. Yet with the owners showing strong backing for Howe's vision, no door is ever truly closed. Supporters across Tyneside are already debating the idea. Some argue that spending heavily on another striker might be unnecessary with Wissa and Woltemade adapting well, while others believe Mateta's proven Premier League pedigree makes him worth every penny. The Newcastle hierarchy is known for calculated risk-taking, signing players at the right stage of their development before their market value explodes. Mateta fits that mold perfectly, experienced enough to deliver immediately, but still hungry to prove himself at the top. It's a strategy that has served the club well since Howe's arrival. Beyond the transfer speculation, Mateta's personal story adds to the intrigue. From struggling for consistency in Germany to becoming one of Palace's key figures, his career has been defined by resilience. Those who know him describe a humble, hard-working player who doesn't crave headlines but thrives on responsibility. Newcastle fans love that kind of character, someone willing to fight for the badge and give everything on the pitch. Should the deal ever materialize, he'd find himself in a club and a city that value commitment above all else. For now, nothing is confirmed, but the whispers are growing louder. Mateta's situation at Crystal Palace remains uncertain, and Newcastle United are keeping the lines open in case the opportunity arises. Whether it's in January or next summer, this is one story that could easily gather momentum as the season progresses. For Eddie Howe, it's another potential piece in a puzzle he's been building carefully, one that could take Newcastle even closer to the top. Fans will be watching every update, wondering if the next big striker to wear black and white is already waiting in London. Eddie Howe's Newcastle United delivered a night to remember at St James Park, not only securing a vital Champions League victory but also earning a stunning financial reward in the process. The Magpies brushed aside Benfica with a commanding 3-0 win, as Anthony Gordon opened the scoring and Harvey Barnes sealed the deal with 2 late strikes. It wasn't just a statement on the pitch, it was a significant boost to the club's European ambitions and balance sheet. According to reports, the victory earned Newcastle roughly £3.3 million in total, a sum that underlines the enormous financial power of the competition. For the Newcastle board, this result meant more than just 3 points. Competing in the Champions League has long been a dream for the club's Saudi-backed ownership, and each win brings financial validation for their long-term project. A single victory in the group stage is worth about £1.8 million, with additional sums coming from UEFA's ranking system and broadcast revenue. The home fixture bonus, with St James Park sold out and buzzing, added another £1.5 million to the tally. The night against Benfica was, quite literally, worth millions in both pride and profit. It's easy to forget how far the Magpies have come in such a short period. Only 2 years ago, Newcastle were battling in the lower half of the Premier League table. Now they're competing and winning against Europe's best. This transformation under Eddie Howe has been remarkable. His tactical discipline, man management, and relentless drive have elevated the team into one capable of thriving in Europe's elite tournament. The Benfica result wasn't a fluke. It was the latest chapter in a story of determination, planning, and financial precision that has reshaped Newcastle's entire identity. Harvey Barnes' brace perfectly summed up the spirit Howe has instilled. Clinical, disciplined, and fearless, Barnes capitalized on every chance created by the team's aggressive pressing and high tempo. Anthony Gordon, who opened the scoring, continues to flourish as one of the standout English wingers in the competition. His partnership with Jacob Murphy and Nick Woltemade has brought new energy to the forward line. But beyond individual brilliance, what truly stands out is Newcastle's collective hunger. A team united by purpose, feeding off the roar of 52,000 passionate fans. Financially, this win was monumental. GiveMeSports analysis confirmed that clubs earn £1.8 million per group stage victory, while finishing among the top 8 teams adds another £1.8 million. On top of that, qualification bonuses can reach £900,000. Add matchday revenue, and the total haul for beating Benfica reached the £3.3 million mark. For Newcastle, still managing their spending within UEFA's financial fair play limits, this type of income is crucial. It not only funds future signings but also demonstrates that the club's strategy, sustainable growth through performance, is working. The success has also had an uplifting effect on morale around the city. After years of frustration, fans are once again seeing their club compete with giants of European football. The economic benefits go far beyond the pitch too. Local businesses thrive on Champions League nights, with hotels, restaurants, and pubs packed to capacity. St. James Park has become a fortress again, buzzing with excitement and belief. For the Toon Army, this isn't just about football. It's about reclaiming Newcastle's place on the global stage, both competitively and financially. Behind the scenes, the ownership group sees this European run as a vital stepping stone. Every victory brings increased visibility, sponsorship opportunities, and player attraction. The £3.3 million earned from the Benfica match alone could cover a large portion of a player's salary for the year or help fund future investments in the academy and training facilities. It's a reminder that success in football isn't just about trophies. It's about sustainability, reputation, and continued progress. Howe's men are not only winning matches, they're building an empire brick by brick. The performance itself also sent a clear message to the rest of Europe. Newcastle are here to stay. Benfica, a club steeped in European history, were outplayed in every department. The Magpies showed composure, strength, and tactical intelligence beyond their years in the competition. Their defensive structure, led by Fabian Schär and Sven Botman, was rock solid, while Bruno Guimaraes dictated tempo with trademark class. Each goal was the product of precision and belief, hallmarks of a team that's maturing into genuine European contenders. Howe's influence has turned potential into performance. For Eddie Howe personally, this victory further cements his growing reputation as one of England's finest managers. He's guided Newcastle through domestic and continental challenges with composure, proving that his methods can deliver results on the biggest stage. Financial gain aside, the 3 points against Benfica have strengthened Newcastle's position in the group and made progression to the knockout rounds more realistic. A win in the next home fixture against Athletic Bilbao could all but guarantee qualification, unlocking even more UEFA prize money and prestige. As the final whistle blew at St. James Park, the celebrations felt deeper than usual. This wasn't just about football. It was about reward for years of loyalty, patience, and hope. The players walked off to a standing ovation, aware they had delivered not just for themselves, but for the city they represent. With £3.3 million added to the coffers and confidence flowing through the squad, Newcastle United have taken a massive step forward, both on and off the field. The message is clear. This club is on a mission, and the journey has only just begun. Anthony Gordon could hardly contain his admiration after Newcastle's emphatic 3-0 victory over Benfica, singling out Jacob Murphy as one of the team's most underrated players. The winger, now 30, delivered yet another brilliant assist, this time setting up Gordon's opening goal that set the tone for a dominant European night at St. James Park. While stars like Gordon and Harvey Barnes often grab the headlines, Murphy's quiet consistency and selfless work ethic have not gone unnoticed inside the dressing room. According to Gordon, it's criminal how little credit his teammate receives for the crucial role he plays in Eddie Howe's system week after week. Murphy's journey at Newcastle has been anything but straightforward. Signed in 2017, he spent years fighting for minutes, often loaned out or left on the bench. But under Eddie Howe, he's found a new lease of life, reinventing himself as one of the Premier League's most dependable wide men. Last season, he registered 12 assists across all competitions, and has already added 3 more this term. His intelligence on the ball, combined with an outstanding engine and tactical awareness, makes him a perfect fit for Howe's demanding style of play. Now, even teammates like Gordon are speaking up in his defense. After the Benfica win, Gordon was asked about Murphy's contribution and didn't hold back. He's so underrated, honestly, Gordon told iNews. He can do everything any winger in this league can do. I don't understand why people don't see it. He's brilliant to play with. Those words carried weight, especially coming from one of Newcastle's most influential performers. Gordon himself has flourished this season, but has been quick to point out that his success wouldn't be possible without Murphy's vision and precision on the right flank. The bond between them is becoming one of the most productive partnerships in the squad. It's not the first time Newcastle supporters have witnessed their chemistry. Earlier this campaign, the duo combined beautifully in a 3-1 win over Barcelona, where Murphy's clever run created space for Gordon's clinical finish. In total, the pair have linked up for 6 goals in 63 games together, a number that continues to rise. What makes their connection special is not just the assists and goals, but the understanding. Murphy anticipates Gordon's movement instinctively, allowing Howe's system to flow with natural rhythm. It's that synchronicity that's helping Newcastle's attack rediscover its sharp edge. Eddie Howe, too, has publicly praised Murphy's professionalism and attitude. The manager often describes him as a coach's dream, a player who listens, adapts, and executes instructions perfectly. Howe values more than talent. He values reliability, discipline, and character. Murphy, in that sense, embodies everything the manager wants from his players. His willingness to work tirelessly both on and off the ball has made him indispensable, even in a squad filled with attacking options like Anthony Elanga and Harvey Barnes. While others might chase the spotlight, Murphy simply focuses on making the team better. This humility has endeared him to the fans. Newcastle supporters, known for their loyalty and sharp footballing eye, appreciate effort as much as flair. They've watched Murphy evolve from a fringe figure into a reliable creator capable of unlocking defenses. His assist against Benfica, a perfectly timed low cross into Gordon's stride, was a moment of pure composure and class. It summed up everything he represents: technical quality delivered with simplicity. The St. James Park crowd responded with applause that felt both proud and grateful, acknowledging a player who has quietly earned their trust. The comparison between Murphy and Anthony Elanga has been a talking point among pundits. Elanga was once seen as Newcastle's long-term successor to Murphy, but so far, the Swede has struggled to replicate the same level of influence. Murphy's decision-making in the final third, his timing of passes, and his understanding of Howe's structure make him a safer bet in big games. He doesn't always dazzle, but he rarely disappoints. For a manager building around consistency and team unity, that's worth more than a flashy dribble or highlight reel goal. Murphy's dependability is now one of Newcastle's most valuable assets. Beyond the statistics, what stands out most is Murphy's relationship with his teammates. He's one of the most popular figures in the dressing room, always positive, encouraging, and quick to celebrate others' success. Anthony Gordon's admiration reflects that camaraderie. The two have developed not just chemistry on the pitch, but genuine friendship off it. They train together, share banter, and constantly push one another to improve. In a squad that's striving for balance and togetherness, that spirit is essential. Murphy's influence goes far beyond assists. He's a unifying presence. It's worth remembering that Murphy's strongest partnership used to be with Alexander Isak, whose movement and finishing complemented his deliveries perfectly. With Isak's departure, some feared Murphy might lose that spark. Instead, he's found new life combining with Gordon and Woltemade, proving once again that adaptability is his greatest strength. As Newcastle continue to challenge on multiple fronts, having a player who can link play across different attacking setups is invaluable. Murphy's experience, patience, and self-belief are now shaping the next generation of Newcastle's offensive identity. For Anthony Gordon, the message is clear. Jacob Murphy deserves more recognition, and is determined to make sure he gets it. The winger's consistency, leadership, and quiet brilliance have been instrumental in Newcastle's recent success. While Gordon's goals light up the headlines, it's Murphy's steady hand that often guides the rhythm of their play. Together, they've formed one of the most balanced wide partnerships in the Premier League. As the season unfolds, fans will be hoping their connection continues to grow, because when those two click, Newcastle look unstoppable. Iliman Ndiaye has suddenly become one of the hottest names in English football, with both Newcastle United and Tottenham Hotspur now locked in a fierce battle for his signature. The Everton forward, valued at more than £60 million, has been one of the most electrifying performers in the Premier League this season. At just 25, Ndiaye has shown an exceptional combination of creativity, power, and composure in front of goal. His performances have drawn admiration from managers, pundits, and fans alike, including David Moyes, who recently labelled him exceptional. For Newcastle, This could be another statement signing to keep their project firmly among the league's elite. According to reports, both clubs are closely monitoring the player's situation and are prepared to make bold offers when the January window opens. Tottenham are said to be eager to strengthen their attacking options, while Newcastle see Ndiaye as an ideal addition following Alexander Isak's departure. The Magpies recruitment team has been busy identifying versatile attackers capable of fitting into Eddie Howe's pressing system. Ndiaye, who can play either centrally or on the wing, fits that description perfectly. His adaptability and work rate make him an appealing target for a team built around intensity and movement. Everton, however, are far from willing sellers. The club recognizes Ndiaye's immense importance to their current setup and have no intention of letting him go cheaply. They view him as a central figure in their rebuilding process, both on the pitch and in their commercial image. Yet, in football, every player has a price, and a £60 million bid might be difficult to refuse. That's where Newcastle come in. Backed by ambitious ownership and growing European income, they have the financial muscle to match almost any rival's offer. It all comes down to whether Howe truly believes Ndiaye is worth the investment. For the player himself, the lure of Champions League football could be decisive. Newcastle are once again pushing for qualification, while Everton remain in mid-table uncertainty. The prospect of joining a club competing at the top end of the Premier League, playing under a manager known for developing attacking talents, is likely to tempt Ndiaye. Sources close to the player suggest he's open to new challenges, and a move to a side with Newcastle's ambition would fit that perfectly. Still, with Tottenham also circling, this race promises drama right up until deadline day. Eddie Howe has always preferred signing players with the right character rather than just raw talent. Ndiaye's professionalism, humility, and relentless drive are qualities Howe values deeply. Those who've worked with the Senegal international describe him as a model professional, quiet off the pitch but fearless on it. His versatility could allow Newcastle to rotate effectively across competitions, particularly with their congested fixture schedule. While £60 million is a significant outlay, the Magpies have proven they're willing to invest big when the right opportunity arises, as seen with players like Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak. Tottenham, meanwhile, are facing a different kind of pressure. Their attack, featuring Richarlison, Solanke, and Kolo Muani, hasn't been as explosive as expected. Ndiaye would inject unpredictability and pace into their front line, something Ange Postecoglou's side have missed in tight games. Spurs have the funds to compete, but convincing the player could be the challenge. Newcastle's steady rise and strong team culture might prove more attractive to Ndiaye than Spurs' inconsistent form. Both clubs are expected to test Everton's resolve with formal bids once January arrives, setting up a potentially explosive transfer saga. What makes Ndiaye stand out is his combination of creativity and composure. He isn't just a goalscorer, he's a playmaker with vision. This season alone, he's already contributed 3 league goals and several key chances created. His ability to drift between lines and find spaces where others hesitate makes him ideal for a system like Howe's. Newcastle scouts have reportedly followed him for months, impressed by his consistency and calmness in big matches. They see Ndiaye as someone who could not only fill Isak's void but elevate the entire front line's dynamic. Everton fans, understandably, are desperate to keep him. They see Ndiaye as their shining light, a player capable of turning games on his own. Losing him midway through the campaign would be a bitter blow. However, the club's financial challenges might force tough decisions if the right bid arrives. For Newcastle, it's an opportunity to strike, strengthening their attack while weakening a domestic rival. The timing could be crucial. Move early in January, and they might secure him before Tottenham have time to react. Howe's calm, strategic approach could make all the difference. If the transfer does happen, Ndiaye would walk into a squad ready-made for his style. With Anthony Gordon, Harvey Barnes, and Nick Woltemade providing width and energy, his arrival could create one of the most unpredictable attacking units in the league. Newcastle's recent transfer record shows a pattern, targeting players who are on the cusp of global recognition. Ndiaye fits that profile perfectly. For the Magpies, it's about more than signing a name. It's about signing a statement. This would be one of their boldest moves yet. As the saga unfolds, the football world watches with anticipation. Will Newcastle act decisively, or will Tottenham swoop in first? Will Everton hold firm, or will the financial temptation prove too strong? One thing's certain, Iliman Ndiaye's future will be one of the defining stories of the upcoming transfer window. For Newcastle United, securing his signature could be another milestone in their rapid ascent. The Magpies have made big moves before, but this one could truly signal that they've arrived among football's elite, ready to fight for every prize. What a week for Newcastle United. From major transfer links to stunning wins, the energy around St. James Park is electric. The talk of Jean-Philippe Mateta possibly joining House squad has fans dreaming again. While that £3.3 million victory over Benfica proved the Magpies are now a true European force. The project is working, both on and off the pitch. Anthony Gordon's praise for Jacob Murphy showed what Newcastle is really about: loyalty, teamwork, and spirit. Murphy's consistency keeps this team ticking, and Gordon's words only confirm how respected he is in the dressing room. And then there's Iliman Ndiaye, the £60 million Everton star both Newcastle and Spurs are chasing. Could he be the next big arrival on Tyneside? Whichever story excites you most, one thing is clear: Newcastle United are moving in the right direction. The club is growing, the team is improving, and Eddie Howe's vision is becoming reality. Keep believing, Toon Army. The best days are coming back to St. James Park. Wait, before you go, check out this breaking video from Newcastle.